Gas Network presents sports for the culture.
I'm here with the family.
Price, XXV, Double I,
Rome,
D-Malo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
This is the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is, man. You know what time it is. It's your favorite sports show. Gas presents sports for the culture. I'm tonight's host, Young Rome 22 on all socials as always. Look like the dream team with me tonight, man. We got a big week in sports. NFL draft this week, NFL play or NBA playoffs going crazy. Look like Shannon Sharpe still in all the headlines. We're gonna get into it all today, though. I'm gonna let the fellas introduce themselves. I'm gonna start with the top left.
What up, man? Scruff. You know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? I got my dog with me, literally. You feel me? We ready. We ready to jump into the latest sports topics. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you tuning in right now, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Top right, introduce yourself.
T-Boogie, man. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Exciting news coming from my side, man. Gas Elite AAU will be starting back up Thursday. Next Thursday. So look out, man. Come support. You know what I'm saying? The team is gonna be more diverse this year. You know, based on the recent administration change, I've decided to take the team in a new direction. And I've recruited some kids from the other side of the tracks. Some would say the better side of the tracks. It's up for debate, but you know, I got some good parents and some good kids coming over. So be prepared for a new Gas, truly for the new culture.
So you opening up the DEI for the
Yeah. So you know, in basketball, this is exactly it would be DEI. We weren't DEI at first. This is DEI now. We are inclusive, and we're looking for diversity. We're looking for a brunette and blonde and different eye colors now. You know, we're taking guys with hair with no kinks. So this is a new age for Gas Elite, and I'm excited for the future of it. You know, we might get some tax write-offs now. Who knows?
Yeah. T Waller. Hey man, shout out Coach Boogie, shout out to Gas Elite, man. He be coaching a great squad over there. I definitely got to come check out some games. Bottom right, man, introduce yourself.
At Bryce XXV Double I. Sound like you got some shooters over there. Hopefully they only do one kind of shooting, right? you know how that goes sometimes. But yeah, man, y'all know what time it is. Your favorite sports show, man. Guys, for this sports for the culture. Happy to be here. Let's get into it, fellas.
You run that Urban Meyer culture over there.
Hey, listen, man. I got some kids coming from the same school that Barron Trump went to, so that bodes well.
He wasn't okay. Now I see what you mean by the better side of the tracks. He wasn't kidding.
I caught that too. Yeah.
Okay, but can they hoop though? That's the real question. Because like we are sports for the culture, and we all know once you get on that court, once you get on that field, I don't really care what school you went to, what side of the tracks you was on.
I mean, listen, man. If Mac McClung can do it, we got a shot.
But it doesn't matter if they can hoop if their mama bring orange slices, man. All right, just make sure the orange slices is on deck and we go to.
Listen, man. Long as none of my parents or me go out like we good.
Hey, yo.
All
right, should start there, yo.
Speaking of Unk, man, and all the craziness, like I said at the opening of the show, there's a lot to get into, but it looks like Shannon Sharpe is once again stealing all the sports headlines with some freaky shit, bro. I don't even know what else to describe it as. Like, if you've seen any of the trendy stuff on online, to be serious for a second, he is getting accused. There are allegations of sexual assault and all that, which is very serious. But once you start reading into some of the stuff that's been released, it gets kind of crazy. The text messages that were released involve all kinds of craziness, crazy talk from the lady involved. There was I believe a voicemail or some kind of conversation between the two of them released. Shannon, by the way, denies all of it, says it's just a smear campaign. She's just trying to get him for his money. He did just sign a mega deal for his podcast. So the timing is right to try to, get a little piece of that, I guess. But hey, fellas, what is everybody thinking on this one, man? Like Shannon Sharpe once again in the headlines for some craziness. Jump ball on this.
Listen, man, this is a tough one because I don't know where to start. Like, I mean, I found this story on my timeline. I think I threw it to the group chat. I can't remember, but I was seeing recipes for candy yam grits, and then I see a text message that has a recipe for baby gravy. All right. Once you start cooking up the baby gravy, like, and it's in a text message, I'm not sure you can say this is a smear campaign because what type of smear are we talking about? All right. But from ESPN tried to cut me off, man. Listen, man. It's one thing. It's one thing to be nasty. It's another thing to be old and nasty. That's a different. That's a different type of nasty, man.
Sick combo.
And I'm from the old days with now with the magic and the miracle of new medicine, the old men can act upon their nastiness now. Like it used to be barbershop talk. Now they talking about releasing 10-minute tapes. All right. He said, listen, Shannon said, I know what they talking about. They got a 30-second clip. They docked it up to portray me a certain way. Well, release the whole 10 minutes. All right.
It's crazy work, bro.
That's what I said. All right. Before 10 minutes. We are at a point in reality, if you want to call it that, where 57-year-old men are demanding that their sex tape be released to prove their innocence. All right. But even deeper than that. No Diddy.
Pause.
No Diddy. Why is a 57-year-old man messing with a 19, 20-year-old girl?
Thank you. Between him and Bill Belichick, bro, I don't understand what's going on here.
Man, y'all understand what's going on here, man. Y'all know what era we in. 25 a cheek is what she said. All right, come on, bro. Like, if you got it to pay, they rocking with you, bro. And that's just the era we in, unfortunately, man. And I don't know if it's unfortunate for the 57-year-old. It's not unfortunate. It's fortunate if you got the bag. I highly doubt you're gonna see a $55,000 a year earner walking around with a 19, 20-year-old. All right. Now, if you see that, then he really earned that. All right. He really earned it, bro. But you got Shannon fresh off of a $50 million, $100 million deal. Yeah, he can do that, man. Because that's the era we in, bro. Crazy work, bro. Like the messages was insane, bro. Like
I do want to this might be a run the tape moment because I think I was on the side of like OnlyFans prostitution was okay, but if a 10-minute tape was to be released of my daughter with Shannon Sharpe, I would have issue with that. So I might have to reevaluate my feelings towards.
Bro, you wouldn't have an issue with it if y'all won the case.
I think that might have been a behind the scenes conversation though. I don't think we actually filmed that combo. I'm trying to remember.
I think some of that's definitely in the ether.
Sometimes. I know the worst parts of that conversation definitely did not get filmed. But yeah, it's one of those things. We in a new age, bro. And yeah, now you start to see why it ain't all that great. Right? It's ushering a whole new era, man. Where it's very reflective of like. It's also reflective of where we are with like all these leagues and what I've been talking about with like the NIL and all this different shit. bruh, substance does not matter any longer, bruh. The only thing that matters is the bag and what you're willing to do to earn it, bruh. And that's where we are right now. Capitalism has won out completely.
All right,
Nah,
but
you make a great point though, because wasn't Buddy still on First Take and all that today? Still
Oh yeah, bro. They love, bro. The
like
ratings are
no
right.
suspension or nothing, bro. Like normally these allegations come out you off air, like
10
oh,
years ago, the Paul Pierce situation happened at the wrong time, all right? Because just 4 or 5 years ago, you would have had to do an apology tour, and now ratings through the roof. Let's get it.
all right. Let's get a little bit more serious about this, right? Is she really trying to defame him and slander him and run his name through the mud, or did he earn this one? Because there's audio clear as day of him saying he's going to choke her and she doesn't have a say in the matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
but see, and this is why I said
Context is very important here. Like, you know what I mean? It really is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could say it, you could play a portion of something and it could really like sound like, you know, something
crazy,
totally different than what it really is. You know, so context is very important here.
But context is important to a degree, but I also will say, like, the positions you put yourselves in, like, especially if you're Shannon Sharpe, bro. Like, you put yourself in a position for the trick bag, bro. Like, you literally you're rocking with a trick bag joint. Like, she's a trick bag to begin with. She's doing the OnlyFans, bro. She told you $25K a cheek, bro. Like, you know he paid that 50, bro. You know he paid that because he got the tape to show it, man. Come on, bro. Like, no, I can't even like Tony Busby, the lawyer, everyone's, you know, trying to make him the issue here. And I get that. I'm not saying these people should be absolved of any wrongdoing. But like, at what point as Shannon Sharpe are you just smarter than everything that's going on around you? Like, you don't have the wherewithal, bro. That's the sad part, is like the lack of awareness, bro.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, go ahead.
Should you have to be on? We're all humans, right? Should you have to be on point at all moments, right? Like you
this is the second time though, bro. I hear where you're going with that, T, but if that Instagram moment hadn't happened, bro, like Shannon Sharpe has proved that he's just a freak, bro. Like he might need help, bro. This is Eric Baudet levels of craziness, bro. Like this is insanity. The shit that they were saying, I couldn't even repeat the text messages, bro. Like I really couldn't.
The fact that people aren't on point at every moment is the reason why AI is about to take over, all right? Because you people not on point at every moment, man. And AI is on point at every single moment. Yes, Shannon should have been on point in these moments that are being released, bro. Like, absolutely, bro. You messing with the OnlyFans, right? You better be on point.
Yeah, I mean, to answer your question, you don't gotta be on point all the time. But the more you got to lose, the more you got at stake, the more eyes you got on you, the more you got to be on point, and that's just what it is. And the more you got, the more you have a liability. Somebody might try to take something from you. Like that's really what it comes down to.
And then he let the lines get blurred, right? The reason why Shannon should have been on point, right, is because at every moment you should at least know who you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a shorty that's really, really rocking with you, you know what I'm saying? Like, this probably doesn't happen like this, right? But when you're dealing with someone that's, you know, rocking with you for $25K a cheek, you should probably be on point, bro. Like, that's it.
All right. But what could this be a situation of, all right, that $25K a cheek is down to, well, I ain't paying for it no more. Like,
hey, bro, if someone's telling you they accept $25K a cheek, you should be on point instantly.
Hey, and this might sound a little unfair, bro, but like I don't know if that was 25 a cheek worthy. Like I don't know if I have that money, I don't know if I'm dropping that money, bro.
Shit wasn't $250 a cheek worthy. What we talking
about? That's a grocery store regular. Like, hey, how you doing? Like, no, bro. 25 a cheek.
It wasn't $25.
Was that to get the cheeks implanted?
That's what I was wondering since I saw that. Like, what do you get if you just want one cheek? What does that come with? If I say all I got is 25, like what am I getting for my 25? Like, what does one cheek include? The one cheek, no sides. A la carte, one cheek a la carte. Is that what you're telling me? This is crazy.
Yeah. Nah.
Yeah, no disrespect to her, but yeah, I don't know about 25 a cheek.
Do Unc got kids?
Bro, I got grown kids, bro.
Yeah. Kids older than her, bro. Come on. Bill Belichick got kids older than his girlfriend too. Like, what world is this? Like,
I will say this though, it's wild times we in. You know what I'm saying? It's cutthroat. You seeing what people willing to do out here in these times we in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not absolving her. We kind of absolving her to a degree. Like, oh yeah, we know these bitches out here fucked up, so fuck it. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna sit here and just like let that be normalized. Like that's not okay. All right. But like I agree with what y'all saying though with the Unc part. Like, you know, I think everybody got their vices. And there's many stories and many books and many lifetimes of men being, you know, basically lust being a major pitfall of man. You know what I mean? Like it's all over. It's all over every book, every religious book you could think of, every movie and story. Like we've seen this story before. You know what I'm saying? And Unc has been very obvious with it. You know what I'm saying? You put your shit out there, you gonna attract that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. So like, you know, I think he been doing a little too much, and I ain't gonna hold you. He kind of advertising his weaknesses. And, you know, you can't be mad when somebody exploit him. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of on him a little bit too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that one word you used there, normalize, man. I think I said this in the past. We've entered the era, bro. We're trending towards everything being normalized. And if everything's normalized, bro, there are no morals. Right. If every single thing is normalized, bro, there's no lines to be drawn. And I truly think, bro, the way the world is shifting, everything is normalized, bro. It's like everything that comes out, people find a way to normalize it, dog.
Yep. And flip it. It could get flipped either way. Like you could be like both sides will be feeling so right, like so vindicated. Like, but it'd be like, bro, what's going on? Crazy.
And don't call it wrong, because if you step up and call it wrong, oh, they're gonna stone you. What?
I mean, I just feel like, man, the person that is going out of their way to trip the other person up and to catch the other person is probably in the wrong.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to blame somebody, I'm blaming the OnlyFans model, because like if we're being honest, bro, this is marketing. This is marketing. You drop a 30-second clip of you fucking one of the most famous sportscasters on the planet right now. How many subscriptions you getting tomorrow? Like this is clear marketing, bro.
But that's the thing. It's like understood.
Y'all walking a very
Scruff is right though. The whole OnlyFans thing and girls like this is getting too normalized. Like that is a great word to put it. And I honestly feel like that's kind of what's happening here. Now that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. But I do feel like she's just trying to capitalize this and parlay it into being the number one OnlyFans model of the month. Like,
yeah, and it's the same thing that people were saying about Edwards with the situation. They're like, okay, you should know better, my guy. And it's like, okay, I get that, yeah, true, but at the same time, like, they wrong as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna just act like they not scheming. The motherfuckers ain't scheming just because we just the new normal is we just expecting folks to be scheming, and we just go absolve the schemers. And you dumbass for stepping into the scheme. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. Nah, that ain't how I'm rocking, bro.
I don't know though, bro, because like, you know, if you've been around for this long and somehow you still fall into a pyramid scheme and you spend all your money on a pyramid, I'm not blaming the pyramid because I'm not blaming them, bro. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, the people at Amway Global sure did you dirty. Nah,
pyramid
bro.
scheme is one thing, but this is, you know, this is a different kind of pyramid. You feel me? A different kind of, you know what I'm saying? That we talking about here. And that's like I said.
It's a powerful pyramid.
Been getting folks since the beginning of time, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? My guy, shout out my guy Samson in the Bible. You know what happened to him, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same story, bro. So Unc, man, you need to. He Monique tried to warn him, bro. You need to get him. He need to get him a good woman. He need to stop chasing these young bitches, man. That shit ain't nothing. It ain't no good for you. It's like my pops once told me. He said, "Ain't nothing good happening outside past 3 a.m. type shit." Or maybe I don't know, it's 2 a.m. Whatever. If you that old, bro, it really ain't nothing good. You coming from you messing with no young ass chick like that, bro. Like really nothing good
bro.
coming from it, bro. Like you out of your league in a sense. Like
Hey, so
they a little too quick for you, Unc.
How soon till Bill Belichick get caught up?
Never.
Nah, I don't know about that. I think Bill might be okay. You know.
Yeah, Bill was smart. He went for the one that's not on OnlyFans.
Bill
went
found
for
a
the
good
relationship.
Bill found a good one, huh?
It's a different angle. Bill going for the relationship, and that's more of like a long-term play for the girl. Whereas Uncle's just trying to pop. You know what I'm saying? And like you being out here lustful, like there are consequences that come with that.
Yeah,
Bro,
Bill.
there should be laws against that shit.
Bill looking for arm candy, a younger companion, and Unc is looking. He's trying to create black. You know what I'm saying? Unc is on a different wavelength. And
Nah, see, I think this is where I got to draw the line, man. I'm not calling any difference between Unc's mindset and Bill Belly's mindset.
It's the same, bro. It's the same mindset. He just picked a more low key chick.
Here, bro. In fact, I'm offended at y'all right now, man. Y'all saying Bill Belly doing the right thing, but Unc Wild.
No, I ain't saying you're doing the right thing. I'm just
y'all
saying,
trying to normalize. Y'all over here trying to normalize Bill Belichick. That's what you're telling me.
I'm just saying the John he got is not that level of a schemer that this John is.
You don't know
like
what
this John is a high key schemer.
No. If we're being honest, Bill Belichick's joint is just way more vicious at the scheme.
I was gonna say she playing a long game.
Way more vicious at the scheme, bro.
Okay, you're not wrong about that. You're not wrong about that.
You rather have the smarter chick. I mean, because and if all right, you got two girls, which one's more likely to act up? The one that you're taking around and you got her at work with you, she's posting pictures with you, or the one that you're hiding? And she
the thing
honestly
about
both, bro.
The thing about Bill Belly's chick is she has the potential to do him way dirtier than Shannon's chick could. Because
Bryce makes a great point.
She's too ingrained in the life, bro. Like she can
that should really get you fucked up.
Really ruin a great like Shannon's chick about to get a cool little 20, 50 M's. She not about to
and go away. She gonna be OnlyFans model of the month.
Bill Belly's chick.
And that's
Bill Belly's chick ends up with the quarterback, Nico Lamavelea, or ends up with the receiver. Hey, it's over, bro. It's over.
Yeah.
Life ruined, bro. An entire legacy down the drain.
No, they can't take them rings. They can't take it from you, Bill.
They're not gonna take the ring legacy, but they're gonna definitely be like, yo, when it comes to the bitches, he a fucking dummy. Like, everybody
gonna be like, man, the rings was all Brady's.
Yeah, motherfucker got the rings and shit, but he don't know shit about no bitches.
Crazy world we live in.
Suck ass.
Every
man.
Crazy for a shorty at some point, man. It's like walking. It's like walking through a minefield. It's bound to happen. It's just how did you lose a limb? Did you lose half your torso? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I go.
Yeah, but you want to get those lessons out the way before they cost you $50K.
My facts. You should not. You should once you're old enough to be universally.
You got to get them out the way when you at a lower tax bracket, bro. When you get in that tax bracket, we talking much bigger problems, much bigger checks. Like Andy Edwards having to cut $1 million check on the spot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
See, it's and can get away with it though. Once you hit Unk stage, no sir.
That was that one little second of pullout. Could have been a pullout, man. That cost him $1 million. Could have been a condom. Could have been, could have just been nothing. It could have been porn. One visit to Pornhub, it would have saved $1 million.
When you sign max deals, you all in.
Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing that could happen for a black man is Tony Busby calling.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's over for you.
Tony Busby call. It's a wrap. Just get ready to shell out some dollars.
All right, fellas, let's keep it pushing, man. Let's leave Uncle alone in this crazy situation, man. I'm sure something else will come up knowing that, man. But let's jump into the NBA here, man. It is the NBA playoff that time of year. We were talking in the pre-show a little bit about the point guards in the playoff, man, and who's the best remaining point guard. Uh, I think Bryce had started the convo by saying Brunson or Ja. That could be a good place to start. Or man, y'all could just ranking your top point guards in the playoffs. T, I'm gonna start with you on this one.
Ooh, I don't know. I don't really look at the point guard position as the point guard position anymore. I'm old fashioned.
Right.
I'm old fashioned in that way, right? Because I don't call Harden a point guard, bro. I don't call Luka a point guard. Just bringing the ball down to me doesn't make you a point
Harden
guard.
not a point guard? What are you talking about?
No, man. Jalen Brunson is a point guard. Ja Morant is a point guard. Like, I'm like I said, I'm
So
old
Steph Curry is not a point guard either, right?
No, not to me. No.
Okay.
But in my if I gotta adapt to the new ways, is SGA a point guard? Because if he is, he's clearly the best.
I mean, based on your measures, he's not though. Like
No,
because it sounds like once a point guard reaches a certain level of score, he's no longer a point guard.
To me.
Yeah, that makes sense to me too.
All right.
Makes sense to me, but
I'm gonna tell you why. And maybe this analogy doesn't hold true, right? But if my quarterback goes 5 for 9 with 100 yards, and he rushes for 18 carries, 240 yards, is he a quarterback?
I don't think that's really comparable.
No, because that's the point guard's job used to be.
I see what you're saying.
Nah, I don't think it's comparable. It's like the same type shit you'd be doing to Jalen Hurts.
I see what you
was Tim Tebow a quarterback? No.
But I think
that is not this whole comparison is broken. So
now, but look, throw this in there though, because I think a part of this discussion that gets lost, and I think like what brings it back for me is if you're a point guard that does what T's getting at, right? That basically doesn't operate as a traditional point guard. The way you counteract that is being able to guard point guards. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a point guard that also can't guard the point guard, then it's like, nah, you're not really a point guard. But if like, so like I can see why like Harden's not a point guard, right? Because he's not guarding Ja Morant. You know what I'm saying? But it's like SGA on the other hand, I would say is a point guard because I think he operates enough traditionally, and then he's going to guard the other team's point guard, right? So it's like I think that may be the thing that could qualify it a little more right there.
Yeah, I disagree completely. With both of y'all assessments, it's crazy.
So you just think a point guard is whoever.
I think a point guard. I think a point guard is the person that's most of the time is the primary initiator of the offense. That's my definition.
So that could be anybody on the court at any given.
So Jokic is the point guard for the Nuggets. I mean, that's the problem with your assessment. So Jokic is the point guard.
Well, technically, Murray would be the point guard, but based on y'all standards, he wouldn't be a point guard. But
you're saying the person that initiates the offense, like Jokic initiates the offense. So, like, is he the point guard?
I think Jokic and guys like that are more so like exceptions. But like, I maybe I'll give you an example.
Problem with it. Yeah.
So like Harden is a point guard to me. SGA is a point guard to me. Steph Curry is the point guard on the Warriors. Brunson's the point guard with the Knicks. Like, you follow me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, Dame Lillard is the point guard for, you know what I'm saying? Dame's a point guard. You know what I mean?
So was Kobe a point guard or was Derek Fisher the point guard?
Fisher was the point guard there. Halliburton is a point guard, right?
I don't know. You lost me on that one then, Scruff.
Cade Cunningham is the point guard.
But Derek Fisher did not initiate
Derek
the
White
offense.
is the point guard.
Right.
Was Iverson the point guard or Eric Snow?
Technically, Eric Snow was the point guard.
So LeBron James has always been a point guard
His whole career.
Nah.
How can you say no? If you, like, this is why your whole thing is flawed, bro. Because that means
Nah, I don't. Actually, you know what? I don't know, bro. This whole shit's getting convoluted. Like, cause the point guard, cause like I don't know, but like, I don't even know anymore. Cause like y'all really, I don't even know anymore. Like, but to me, like I don't know. I guess it's just the eye test thing. I don't know. Like, I really
That's
don't
why I
know
threw
anymore.
that. That's why I threw that out there. Is like if they're guarding the point guard, and I think it's two qualifications. I think both of y'all's qualifications are
But
correct.
Ben Simmons was a point guard. He ain't guard the point guard, right?
But to me, he wasn't a point guard though.
To
He
me,
was just a big.
he's
He
a
was just a
point
big
guard,
dude that
bro.
brought the rock up. You know, he was just a 7-footer that brought the rock up. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you got to be able to guard every other team's point guard to be considered a point guard. Because Russ, we're saying a point guard is only a one-sided position. It's only an offensive position. Nah, you got to be a point guard on offense and a point guard on defense, in my opinion.
I feel like your point guard is whoever, because at the end of the day, the NBA puts their motherfucking lineups up and they say fucking clear as day point guard. So if you in the lineup sheet and you list as a point guard, you the point guard. That's my final answer.
Well, I would throw this question out there: Is the traditional point guard essentially dead? Then is that position essentially dead? Because to everybody's point,
No.
almost anybody is bringing up the ball. So like, what
You
is
gotta point guards these days can't just be point guards. Like they can't only be initiators of the offense. That's not going to get you on the court enough. Like in my opinion, like these point guards these days have to be scorers and they have to initiate the offense. It's the degree of which you do it is up to you. You know what I mean? But I think people, from what I'm hearing from T, is like guys that are averaging like around 5 assists a game or so aren't really point guards, and the guys that are more so hovering around 8-ish around there, you know, those guys are really more so the point guards. It's kind of what I'm getting at. It's kind of what you're getting at.
Kind of how I feel, and maybe the term point guard is just outdated. You know, maybe we just need to go with like wing, big facilitator, something like that, because
or just guard, period,
or just guard, right? But the traditional point guard, those are the guys backups, come off the bench. Drew Holiday's, maybe you get a Derek White, Nembhard in Indiana. Couple guys just come off the bench, man. The Trey Jones types, those are point guards.
Yeah,
right?
That's a traditional point guard for sure, like from the old school days.
Aren't expected to score, but they are expected to play defense, and they are expected to run the offense and make open shots. Just get other guys involved. But if in today's basketball, we would have to say that, you know, Steph, SGA, Harden. I think that's where you start, right? That's probably tier 1.
Yeah,
I'd probably stretch that tier 1 out a little bit more. I think you got to throw a couple more names in there. I throw Brunson in that tier 1.
I feel like Brunson and Ja are kind of in like tier 2, but it's really debatable. Like it's pretty fluid. Because is Harden really tier 1? I don't know.
Well, I think another guy that I probably think is teetering on that tier 1 might be Cade Cunningham as well, man. Like,
he's developing into that. Like he's been something else this playoffs. He's arrived.
Hasn't Schroeder been playing the 1 out there?
Occasionally,
yeah. The thing is, Schroeder come off the bench.
He comes off the bench, but yeah, Cade is their starting point guard. But you know, Cade is also capable of playing the 2 guard as well, and they can run those lineups with Schroeder and you know, Ivy. You know,
Schroeder, yeah, and I like I don't know, man.
SGA is the same way.
I like where the league is, like, but to Rome's earlier point, like, is there still like a point guard position? That's questionable, right? Because I think the league has gotten to the place where everyone has to be able to do everything. You know what I'm saying? Point guard used to be a thing because everyone was slotted for what they were supposed to do, right? Like if you were 6'1" to 6'4", like you had to be able to handle, bring the ball up, initiate the offense. If you were 6'4" to 6'6", you had to be able to come off pin downs, come off screens, and knock down mid-range jumpers, and you know what I'm saying? But like, gone are the days of like traditional shooting guards too. Like every shooting guard is really a combo guard now. They worth something, and it's just crazy that like who is like a traditional shooting guard these days? Like where's Rip Hamilton in this league? You know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson's probably the last of the traditional shooting guards, if we're being honest. Like,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
to T's earlier point, you almost got to break it down. Big man, wing, facilitator, like
Yeah.
because in my opinion, like obviously the center position is nothing like what it was when Shaq was playing, right? Like you don't have that type of like they can do pretty much like Bryce said, you gotta be able to do pretty much everything. And I feel like that goes across the board now. Like y'all even pointed it out, most of the traditional point guards are coming off the bench. Like they're not starting, and there's a reason for that. So I think it's hard to narrow down who you would say is the best actual point guard.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that's good or bad, how good or bad that is for the game in the long run. I heard a conversation with like LeBron and I think somebody recently, LeBron and Steve Nash actually. And they were talking about like where the game is and like how much better the game is than it used to be. And I wonder, like, I don't know. I don't know what that means for the game, if it even means anything, but like I kind of like the game where everyone had a specific role. And I think now everyone does everything, more or less just favors like the biggest, strongest, fastest person. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a different age though. That's the evolution of things. This is the comparison I'm gonna make, right? It's like back in the day, right? Men used to work and women could just stay at home and shit. But like, in this era, hey, everybody got to work, motherfucker. So like, this is basketball. Everybody got to score. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much what it is. Like, you don't have the luxury of just coming and cooking and cleaning, bitch. Like, you gotta work. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what point guards got to do. Like, you can't just show up and just bring the ball up. You got to score. You got to play defense. Like, you got to be able to do all these things. Otherwise, you're a hole. Like, that kind of worked both ways. But yeah, you follow me. It's a problem.
Everybody got to bring more to the table now, and
Centers got to shoot now. You can't just stand around the bucket, motherfucker. You got to shoot. You got to have quick feet.
I mean, guys are more skilled. I don't know if that makes the game better, but
like
Yeah, I think what happened is like everybody loves basketball. It's easy, accessible, so everybody kind of refine their skills. So like now you do have big men that can shoot because that's what they wanted to do. So they spent more time shooting than big men of the past. But like to Bryson T's point, I don't know if that's better for the game. I don't know if that what that really does for the NBA. Does that make people more marketable? Like is it more? I don't know. I don't see the growth in that way from the NBA.
You know what the growth is going to look like, and it's probably not. It's probably going to be well after we're dead and gone. But you remember how like there used to be that image of like what the average American will look like in the year 2300, and it's just like a light skinned person with light eyes and brown hair. Y'all seen that image before, right?
I seen
Yeah.
it.
The NBA version of that is every single player 1 through 5 is 6'9", got handles, and can shoot. And that's what the NBA. That's going to be every player on every team. A roster.
I mean, to some degree, there are teams like that though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Philly was literally like that. Everybody was 6'8" across the board. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're 1, you're 2, you're 3, you're 4.
Well, the other thing too, a lot of the players in the NBA are just coming up through the AAU system, and like a lot of people, it's almost like a not a pyramid, but it's like a pipeline or something. To where it's like I feel like that affects a lot of it too.
Well, that's how they're breeding them now. The big kids are putting the ball on the floor. I mean, it's a copycat league, and it's still, if you got a guy that's 6-7 inches taller and has the same skill set as the shorter guy, I mean, this is math 101. This is video games 101. Like, who do you pick? You pick the taller guy, right? If you could find Lamar Jackson, but he was 6'8", you're taking the 6'8" Lamar Jackson, like 6'8", 260, and you can do the same thing. I'm taking you. But I think everything goes in cycles, man. And there'll be a coach that cracks the code and figures out how to use that. Oh, all you guys are the same archetype against you.
That's the key. That's the key. And I agree with you there, bro. I truly think everything goes in a cycle. Y'all remember a few years ago, man, I was saying like the running game is gonna come back to the NFL. And now look where we at, bro. Everybody trying to get a running back now. Running back's about to start going first round again, all crazy. Everything goes in a cycle, dog. That's a fact. Like it's bound to, and that's what happens when everyone adjusts. Then everyone's got to readjust, and the readjust is typically the opposite of what the adjustment was.
I mean, you're kind of seeing it now, right? You're seeing teams go to this too big rotation and getting away from small ball. Cleveland will trot out.
Yeah, Houston was doing it.
Yeah, like
they lost.
What's the guy named Zuback, and I think they got another big or something out there. No, Hartenstein and yeah, like you're seeing success now with all right. You're going small ball. I'm going two bigs, but maybe one or both of my bigs can shoot it. So
it's strategy, man. Because now, like, if you only got one paint rim protector, one big on the floor, then you get him isolated, then you just kind of just boom and shit's wide open and shit. When you got two, you got somebody to play off ball a little bit and help out. You know what I'm saying? Because that's way too often. Somebody you can isolate that center on the pick and roll, and now you cooked. Like your whole back line of your defense is just gone.
Yeah, and that's what's hurting Memphis. Like, bro, y'all can't really get to the hoop on those bigs, but. I don't know. The game will go in cycles. I'm not sure who the best point guard is right now, but SGA is playing good ball. Harden's playing, and I talk bad about Harden. Harden is showing me something in his first round. So shout out to Harden. Steph, they said that one of the Thompson twins was the Steph stopper. No,
ain't no such thing, bro. That doesn't exist. And that's what I was saying last week on here, man. I said, yo. Fantastic. You guys are number 2 seed. You guys got 7 guys that score double figures. That's all well and good. But when it's the playoffs and the shit getting hot and Curry hitting them shots and making them faces and dancing and shit, now you're looking around and the shit just piling on and you looking like Mr. Krabs in the meme, like, oh shit, what the fuck is going on over here?
It's Curry, but it's really Jimmy Butler over there, man.
It's a combo. We're talking about veterans here.
Jimmy
veterans.
Cool situation, dog.
2 closers, 2 vets. You know what
I'm saying? That series not over, bro. That series
it's not over. The Rockets was fighting, but what happened when that game was they had to put in guys like, veterans that had experience, and they had to rely on guys like Fred VanVleet and Steven Adams to pick up, the slack when them young boys was lacking in experience. Whereas, the Warriors guys, they're all pretty experienced in the playoffs.
Nah, yeah, this was a solid convo about point guards. Definitely, if you're out there, definitely chime in. Would love to get everybody's thoughts on the point guard debate, so to speak. But before we get off the point guard topic, though, I do gotta put y'all on the spot on this one, man. I'm gonna go back to Bryce's original question on this or that. So forget the debate. It's either gonna be Brunson or Ja. T, who you picking?
Brunson.
Bryce, who you got?
Give me Ja, man.
Scruff?
You had asked me like 2 years ago, it would have been Ja easily. But you gotta give me Brunson. He gets it done in the key moments. He rises to the occasion. You get your tough buckets. He gets to the line. He facilitates the offense. You know what I mean? And, he's good for your public image. He's not pulling out guns and grenades and shit.
I don't know about that part, but I'm definitely rocking with Brunson, too. I think Ja is neck and neck, man, but Ja needs another moment. Ja needs another big, meaningful playoff moment or some type of significant moment for me to put him back ahead of Brunson.
Brunson's had so many good playoff moments. He hasn't gotten all the way there, but the thing about the Knicks and Brunson is really it's hard to build around a guard like that. But the dude's scrapping, you know what I'm saying? He really scrapping and he making shit happen. For him to have any playoff success, period, it's hard to do when you the lead guard and that's kind of your shit. It's you and a couple wins. They got good players. Don't get me wrong, but
No, Brunson definitely does his thing, and I would probably throw him in the traditional point guard category. But let's keep it pushing, bro. Before we get out of here, we got to talk NFL draft that is this week, this Thursday. Look, traditionally we've done mocks on the show. We've done all kinds of things. Bryce, we all know you deep dive into the college ball. But we're gonna talk about something that I'm not too fond of this word personally, but we're gonna talk about generational potential in this NFL in this draft. Some are saying it's one of the weakest drafts in recent memories. So maybe there's zero generational potential. My opinion, though, I think this draft just isn't top heavy. I think this is the kind of draft you can find a diamond in the rough, so to speak. So I'm interested to get everybody's thoughts on this. Who could potentially be a generational pick in this draft? Jump ball.
Easy. That's an easy one.
Obvious. I mean, we know that
Well, there is the one.
Yeah, I mean Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter, like those are like the easy answers. But I see a couple guys that could fall into that generational category. If we're going off just like athletic ability alone, I think Nick Emanwari out of South Carolina is a special prospect from an athletic standpoint. Kind of reminds me, like as a prospect, it's hard to compare his physical traits. But where he'll probably land in the draft kind of reminds me of the year Kyle Hamilton fell to the Ravens. I feel like Nick Emanwari is going to go way later than he's supposed to. And I could see a team grabbing him in like that mid-20s, and we look back and be like, how did he fall that low? So I'll start there, but I see a few other ones, though.
Well, I want to give a little bit of pushback real quick because you said the two obvious ones, and I only see one in Travis Hunter. I don't know that Abdul Carter is generational, and this is why I preface the question with I'm not a fan of this word because to me, is he the best pass rusher in this draft? Absolutely. Does that mean he's generational? No. Who was the last generational pass rusher?
I think Abdul Carter. That's a good question. I think Abdul Carter was the best pass rusher in the last 3 drafts.
Probably Micah Parsons, maybe.
And Micah Parsons wasn't drafted to be generational, if we're being honest, right? Micah Parsons went, 11th to the Cowboys? And Micah Parsons...
but he was a linebacker. People don't pick linebackers. They kind of made him you know what I mean? Because he didn't necessarily come out as a...
That's my point. So when he was getting drafted, there was no talk of this is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? It just ended up being that way. And that's
I would say Myles Garrett then.
Predict here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for, Scruff. Myles Garrett.
Probably Garrett, but then there was probably Nick Bosa probably seen as... I think Chase Young coming out was seen as a generational prospect.
I think Carter was up there too until he got into trouble.
They were seen as that.
Yeah, I mean, time will tell. Time will tell. I think Travis Hunter is the only surefire generational pick, especially if you can find a way to get him playing both ways. But T, I see you disagree.
No, Travis Hunter is not generational. He has generational hype. He might be a generational boyfriend. He's not a generational.
He definitely is a generational sucker for real.
He's not.
It's a thin line between being Uncle Shay Shay and being Travis. All right, man. Like you can't win for losing. I see. All right, the man's good to his woman, and he's a sucker. All right.
I look at it like if he only played one side of the ball, would he be the top player at his position? And at receiver, I don't think so. At corner, I think you have an argument, but at receiver, I don't see him better than Burden, Golden. There's a couple guys. Maybe I think he's in that range with Tet, right? Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But there's some other guys I think will come in and be day one wide receiver ones. I think Hunter might have to find his footing a little bit. I don't think he'll come in and be Malik Neighbors, if that makes sense.
That's not what makes him generational, though.
No, you're missing it.
But to be generational, you typically got to get off to a hot start.
But if he's able to play both sides of the ball and at a consistent basis in the NFL, he's generational. Yeah. I don't care if he's a B+ on both sides. He's generational.
What if
you're knocking out 2 positions?
Yeah, I don't. if you're telling me he's an A on the defense and a C on the offense, generational. Because
What
that
is it?
means that if you're my third or fourth receiver, but my starting corner, you're the best player on my team.
Like he doesn't need to be Jalen Ramsey and like Tyreek Hill. Like he could be like, like I don't know, like a really good corner, like a Jalen Ramsey, and be like a damn, Dante Pettis on offense, and he'd still be pretty fucking good. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
I don't think
I
there's any
agree.
way. I don't think there's any way that if you play Travis Hunter as a full-time receiver, that he ends up being Dante Pettis, bro. Like if you play
No, I
Travis
agree.
Hunter as
I
a
agree.
full-time
I agree.
receiver, he ends up at least being like on some Stephon Diggs shit, bro. Like
Agreed.
His ball tracking. What separates Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball is his ball tracking, bro. It's elite. It's next level elite, bro. And I think that's what makes him. That's his generational talent, in my opinion.
Regardless of how many snaps he ends up playing on offense versus defense, if he's a game changer on both sides of the ball, that's going to put him in a unique value proposition, like automatically. You know what I'm saying?
To T's point, if he only plays one side of the ball, I think you're right. He may not end up being a generator because, like, Stephon Diggs is not a generational talent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a hell of a talent, but like, if he only ends up playing one side of the ball, I think I'm with you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he becomes just Trayvon Diggs or just Stephon Diggs and not both of them at the same time,
I'll say this though: if that one side of the ball is defense and he's a top 5 corner, first year in the league, that's generational type stuff. Because playing corner from college to NFL is a gigantic leap. You're not going to be seeing the same type of guys. Routes going to be way more refined. QB timing going to be next level. So if he can be top 5 on the defensive side at all, even if he plays 0 offensive snaps, I still think that would put him in the generational conversation.
Also, people aren't talking about the fact that he's also would be an elite punt returner and kick returner as well. So now we're actually talking about 4 spots that he's filling up.
Well,
yeah,
we watched Debo be a elite running back and an elite receiver, and no one called him.
Come on now.
Listen, a lot of these guys played multiple positions, played multiple sides of the ball.
Cordarrelle Patterson is a generational too, then, right?
Who?
Cordell Patterson,
right.
Running back slash wide receiver.
Cordell Stewart and Cordell Patterson, according to y'all.
Okay, but who have you known that's played football, has played at a high level on offense and defense? That hasn't really been done before.
It has been done. I watched Charles Woodson do it in college.
So little.
We're talking about NFL.
Listen, some of these guys that just didn't get the opportunity because a lot of these coaches were closed-minded. But if you think for 1 second that there are guys in the NFL that don't have the ability to play both sides of the ball, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though.
That's not even the thing.
Fact that they have the talent. If he has the talent to make a coach do something that hasn't been done for 75 years, then motherfucker, that's generational talent.
Oh, so look, Troy Brown just did it with the Patriots, or I guess I shouldn't say just did it, but he did it not too long ago with the Patriots, right? So, T, are you telling me that Travis Hunter is basically going to be Troy Brown, or do you think that he'll be better on both sides of the ball than Troy Brown?
Hell yeah.
So it's not because he's playing both sides; it's because he's actually a generational talent.
That's the problem. If he is Troy Brown, you guys are going to call him generational without calling Troy Brown generational.
No, bro.
You guys are so enamored that somebody's able to have a high snap count when other people can do it. They just don't let you because your money is so invested that you can't afford to. All right, I'm going to tell you why. If Travis Hunter gets hurt and he's your best receiver and he's your best corner, you lost the best person on both sides of the ball.
That's a good point.
Oh yeah.
All right.
You're right about that.
See, that's the thing though. There's not players that you're overhyping this a little bit. There's not that many players in the NFL that could go both ways. Name one.
Especially with this being so special.
Sam's. All right, that was a low.
That was crazy. That was crazy, bro. That's insane. That's insane. That's insane, bro.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I bet, hey, Roby threw it off the backboard. I had to catch. I had to catch the oop, bro. All right, there are players, right? There's no doubt in my mind that guys that are just football players, right?
Yeah,
McCaffrey,
maybe some linemen. You could.
bro.
McCaffrey's not covering nobody, bro. McCaffrey's not making a tackle, bro. Like, come on, bro.
You can't tell me. You can't tell me Christian McCaffrey wouldn't be better than Troy Apke. All right, if I played Christian McCaffrey at strong
Now
safety,
you're playing Madden. Now you're playing Madden. You
Yeah,
know, playing franchise mode. You just putting anybody in
and
the
to your point. Okay, Christian McCaffrey is better than Troy Apke. Congratulations, you're my fourth string safety. You can play special teams or some shit. Like that's not that. Christian McCaffrey could not play both ways, bro. He would be useless on defense. He would
all
be
right.
useless on defense.
I think. All right. When you play little league football and you go up to high school, they stop you. And I mean, in high school, sometimes they don't stop you. They might even let you, but college for
Depends
sure.
on how good the squad is.
Right.
College, you're not
College
rocking.
for sure. They're stopping you from playing both sides of the ball. But a lot of these guys went to college and changed positions. Like, all right. Look at the tight end from Walter Nolan or whatever his name is. Bro was a quarterback and said, all right, let me just switch to tight end. Like, I mean, we've seen
That's not how that works, T. Trust me, bro. I changed
you watch
positions, bro. I thought I was wide receiver, and guess what? Coach said, Rome, you can't catch, go play DB, bro. They didn't move Buddy from QB to tight end because he was like, oh, tight end looks fun. The motherfucker couldn't understand how to run an offense. So we said, go block a little bit, and then we'll throw you the ball later. Like it's not a choice all the time.
Explain Terrell Pryor.
Terrell Pryor got booted off quarterback, bro. He wasn't good enough.
He was a good athlete. They put him at quarterback, and he was good enough to play quarterback.
Yards.
He was good enough to play quarterback in college, and then he wasn't good enough to play in the NFL. That's what it came down to.
Bro, he played all the way. He played quarterback. Oh, bro, I'm a football player. Football players are football players.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
Not everybody can do that, bro.
We're moving the goalposts a little bit, though.
Bro. That's
QB to wide receiver way different than offense to defense.
You're literally doing the opposite footwork. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we talk about footwork, bro, this is what makes corners in the NFL so great, right? Is their footwork, right? And same with receivers is your route running. It's your route running versus your back pedal and your footwork on the back pedal, right? That is not. It's not just as simple as like if you can do one, you can do the other, bro. Like it ain't that simple, bro. DK Metcalf not just gonna be a lockdown corner if you just switch his position.
No,
I'm saying I just picked a random receiver, bro. But you can say the same thing about Justin Jefferson, right?
Bro, Justin Jefferson not covering nobody.
None of them. None of them can't do that. It's just different.
And that's what makes Travis Hunter so unique. But I do feel you. And I'll go back to it, bro. His generational talent lies in the fact that he can do both, not that he's great at one or the other.
You think Derrick Henry can't get past Morgan Moses?
I mean, there's a lot of technique that goes into pass rush, bro.
I'm not sure about that, bro. I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
He's some great pass rusher, bro.
There's a lot of technique that goes into that, bro.
No, you guys are overestimating all of this technique talk, bro. Like these guys, they're already supremely athletic. You can learn technique in a very short period of time. The guys that don't stick are the guys that can't learn technique because they either can't do it or they don't have the IQ for it. But if you can do it on one side of the ball, and not guys like DK that are one-trick ponies, right? Guys that are actually supremely athletic, high RAS scores and everything. I can cone drill. I can run the gauntlet. I can, like the guys that can do everything. I can broad jump. I can vertical. Bro, you can put those guys on either side of the ball.
The difference is, though, bro, and when we're talking about tackle football, if you're gonna play defense, you gotta want it, bro. You gotta want it, bro. Like that's why I said your Christian McCaffrey point. He would be useless on defense because he doesn't have that mentality of to go hit somebody and to be a dog like that, bro. Like that, and most of the offensive players don't have that. That's why they play offense. Like,
I disagree. I think a lot of the offense guys just like the aura that comes with playing offense.
None of those receivers have got enough dog in them to play defense, bro. None of them want to get hit.
Pierre Garçon would have took somebody's head off. Like
probably would have been susceptible to every double move in the book, though.
Hines Ward to kill somebody. You can't tell me Hines Ward couldn't be Bob Sanders. Like, all right, when Travis Hunter is just the first, because we're getting to the NIL era where players can strong arm teams. Travis Hunter is just the first to be able to strong arm his way to playing both sides of the ball.
I don't think that has anything to do with it, bro. I think it has everything to do with the fact that the coach was thinking outside the box, and he saw that the dude had the talent and was willing to go against the grain. And we've seen that the Dion was willing to go against the grain. So honestly, I think Dion deserves a lot of the credit. And obviously, Hunter has the talent, but he needed the opportunity,
bro.
To your point, bro. If more players start going both ways, that only boosts the fact that Travis Hunter is indeed generational. Because if he starts sprouting many Travis Hunters and we see more players getting that opportunity, that proves that he is birthing a generation.
There were always, bro. Didn't Jabril Peppers play offense too? Like, there's always been players that could play both ways. I'm trying to tell you, the risk to reward is the issue. So I don't care which two positions you play. If you are a dog at both, if you are arguably 80 overall and above on Madden at both, if you miss 4 weeks, bro, that hurts the offense and defense. Like, you need 2 players now to replace your workload. Mathematically, I don't think it'll track. I don't think you'll produce a bunch of mini Travis Hunters. I don't think you'll see Travis Hunter play a full worklock. He'll probably start at corner and play wide receiver packages.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that? That's he has the ability to lock down the other team's best player in a passing league, and he has the opportunity to play in important moments down, in key moments of the game, and like that's enough to make an impact. That's enough to have like 3-4 huge catches.
Bro, this is like when they thought women couldn't join the workforce. Women can do some of the same stuff. Like these guys.
I'm not tracking that analogy. I don't know.
It's the exact analogy. We don't let women do these jobs because you can't do these jobs. But the reality is, bro, I guarantee you, if you ask NFL players right now, could you play the opposite side of the ball? 50% of them are going to say, hell yeah.
Well, you know why they're
be wrong?
That? Because they're supremely confident, bro. Not because
those same players think they could play in the NBA, and they can't.
Exactly.
Like those same dudes think they can play in the
NBA. I don't discount what T's saying when he's saying, like, bruh, if a player is able to master something with their athletic ability, it's within the realm of them being able to master it. But the mastery of both sides is what makes Travis Hunter special, bro. He got the opportunity to master both sides, and he was able to master it, bro, to a degree that we have never seen in the history of in the modern history of football. Now, it may have happened like the Jim Thorpe days, you know what I'm saying, Sammy Ball days, but in the modern football, we've never seen this, dog. And if he can just if he can be your third string wideout and just be in packages and be your starting corner, bro, that helps your team. Even if he gets hurt, that helps your team way more than it hurts your team, bro. Like that's an unbelievable boost to your team.
I'm gonna just say this: in Little League football, you see guys where the teams where the running back is also the best linebacker. At what age did bro just fall off a cliff on one side of the ball?
Nah, but typically in what you're talking about, Little League football, that's a physicality thing, right? That's because this is the biggest, strongest kid in the history of this town. and he can dominate us on both sides.
What happened to you is the kid that's really good at running back and linebacker gets to college, and all the other running backs are way faster because that's why he's a linebacker and not a safety because he's slow.
And you know where that happened? This happened at UCLA a few years ago with a player named Miles Jack. Miles Jack was a linebacker, and he was a hell of a running back at UCLA as well. And no one ever talks about him when they talk about both sides of the ball. But You think Miles Jack get you 1,000 yards on the ground in the league? Hell no.
But Miles Jack messed his knees up, man. Listen, the problem isn't
He ended
that.
up getting burned out though. Just to kind of talk about that point, like he didn't last very long in the league. He kind of abused his basically you're burning on both ends, and eventually he ain't have much left. So that's another thing with Travis Hunter is the durability, and that's what makes it impressive.
Too. His stamina is crazy, bro. Like he be going every snap, and it doesn't ever look like he's tired, dog. Like all game, and he's got as much juice as he had to start the game as he has to finish it. That's crazy.
Yeah, and that's going to be part of the testament as well. To can he do this? Is like, can he stay durable?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest question.
That's the key to his generational talent, bro. If he's able to do anything like that in the league that he did in college, bro, it's hands down generational, bro. Because we've never seen it in a generation, and that's the definition of generational, bro.
Actually generational. Yes,
bro. If he gets to the Pro Bowl on both sides of the ball, we can have a conversation. But anything less than that, I don't want to hear it.
If he gets to the Pro Bowl,
that is such a ridiculous statement.
If he gets to the Pro Bowl and has 1,000-yard season as a receiver the same year, that's generational, dog.
Bro, he'll be in the Pro Bowl, no question. He gonna mess around, get a pick, and then on the very next drive, they're gonna throw him the touchdown, bro. We don't see shit like that in the NFL. Like Travis Hunter is essentially already in the Pro Bowl, bro. Book it.
Another thing that's gonna make him real tough, like in the league, is the fact that he is a wide receiver playing. So that means like he could easily catch a pick six. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
The other way, and that's kind of what makes it like even more dangerous.
How about this? When you get to the league, if he struggles on either side of the ball, how long before you force him to only play one side?
Oh, not long at all. And honestly, I'm glad that you brought that up because
rookies struggle.
It don't got to be a permanent situation either. You know, maybe he struggles a little bit on one side, you play him there, and then later on you like, okay, now you got your legs under you, good here. All right, cool. Then we start mixing you in on the other side, like, or you see.
My final question before we wrap it up tonight: if you were to draft Travis Hunter, what side of the ball are you playing him on, and how much would you play him on the other side of the ball? T, I'm gonna start with you.
I'm playing him. If I'm playing him at receiver, I'm not playing him at corner. If I'm playing him at corner, I'm playing him at receiver in packages.
That's fair. Bryce, how would you run it?
I am playing Travis Hunter to the full extent of his abilities, bro. I'm giving Travis Hunter as many snaps as he can handle, bro. If Travis Hunter comes to me and says, "Coach, I'm good to go on both sides," by Garnet, you're going both sides. All right, get out there, bro. Like let's get it, bro. This is if this is truly who you are. Let's find out if you are this generational talent. Like I'm down to find out if he's truly that guy that can go both sides and be something that we've never seen.
Scrub, how would you run it?
I'd probably start him at corner, like number one corner, and I probably put him on I probably leave him in defense, probably like 80-90% of the snaps. If I see opportunities where I can take him out, though, like maybe it's a run-heavy situation, I might do that. But I'll probably play him more so like as a third receiver, like Bryce mentioned. Like you got your one and your two, but he's a guy that could come in on your three receiver sets and be a real difference maker, especially in the slot.
Did you see his routes?
Yeah, they're crispy.
Crisp. All right, man.
No, I think he could definitely be an impact player at the third or fourth receiver, man. There's not that many teams that are 3 or 4 corners deep, so I think he could get loose if you utilize correctly. Me personally, I would start him at corner, no question. Like I was just saying, not enough good corners in the league, so I could see him being a starter day one on most teams. And then as far as receiver, man, I think it just gets down to your creativity as an OC. Like, and honestly, T, to your point, like, a lot of players probably could go both ways. We've seen some D linemen come in and play tight end on the goal line or do different kind of things. So that's kind of my mindset with Travis Hunter. Like, be creative. Like, why just put him at wide receiver? Line him up in the backfield, motion him out, do all kinds of things. maybe even run some wildcat. Like who
Yeah,
who
I think
knows?
he's
If
better. I think he's a better receiver than he is a corner. That's just me though.
he very well could be. He very well could be. But the
Yeah.
thing, the reason I would go corner instead of receiver is like I was saying, there's just not enough good corners. So if you can get a guy that could potentially be a premium corner or a top corner in the league, you got to go with that.
You get him to do both, bro. Like for example, if he get drafted by the Giants, like he's instantly their best corner and their second best receiver. Instantly.
bro, he's not the best corner on any team in the league. Y'all talking crazy. All right, man. Y'all
Who the Giants number one corner?
I don't know, but he's been in
Okay. All right. Okay then. I mean, the fact that you don't know who he is means something, and you know who Travis Hunter is.
Listen, I'm not going to say a guy that won 13 games in college and didn't. It's not like he dominated against top receivers. There other people in this draft class have highlight film catching passes on Travis Hunter. Y'all have boosted this man based on snap count. He's a snap count merchant. All right.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my God.
true, bro. You're right. There was like one. I think it might have been like Kyle Williams or somebody had a good day against Travis Hunter. But typically, people no. It was matter of fact, it was boy from Stanford. Who was it that had that one big day? Somebody had a good day on him. But
Ted was catching passes.
Nah, not Ted. It was Io Manor. Io Manor from Stanford. That's who was cooking them. But like, bruh, that's the nature of corner, bro. Nobody's, I don't care who you are, you're gonna have a bad day at corner. But if you look at PFF grades and all the grading systems, bro, Travis is a dog at corner and he's a dog at receiver, bro. And I'm just, I'm not saying those grading metrics are the end all be all, but what are we going off of, bro? Like the eye test tells me he was a dog at corner.
Yeah.
You guys.
The eye test definitely tells me he's a dog at corner.
But I think he's a better receiver. And if he ends up being like on some Justin Jefferson shit at receiver, I would not be surprised, bro. I would not be surprised.
Justin who?
If he ends up being
I agree. I think
if he ends up being a 1,300, if they only put him at receiver and he ends up being a 1,300, 1,400 yard receiver, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised at all at that.
I think if he was a receiver alone, he still would be a top 5 pick.
Bro, Travis Hunter has next level ball tracking, bro. And that is the one skill that I feel like as a receiver, route running you can teach, everything else you can teach, but that ball tracking shit, that shit is innate, bro. And he's the best, one of the best I've ever seen.
So what do y'all think he ends up Thursday?
On the worst team in the fucking history of the NFL.
Cleveland Browns?
That's the Browns, right?
Browns.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
said in the history.
I do think he probably ends up on the Browns. I do foresee that. I think Ward's going to go first. I think Hunter goes second. I think Carter goes to the Giants.
But I think him and Carter are a toss up. I think both have.
It could go either way. I agree.
There's no way I'm not taking Carter from the Browns. Like, no matter if we can score quarterback, but
they just signed Myles Garrett for that big deal. So
right,
I agree with you on that one, T. I think the Browns got to go Carter. I think you pair Carter with Garrett, bro. Like that's a true difference maker.
The Browns gonna take Travis Hunter and then trade back up and get Shador Sanders and reunite the Colorado retirements. The Colorado retired jerseys on the same team. Man.
Say that again, Bryce.
The Browns gonna take Travis Hunter and trade back up for Shador Sanders.
Oh, that would be insane.
Just mark my words when it happens, yo.
They might.
Yo, I wouldn't be shocked, bro. Because if he starts falling into the 20s, it wouldn't take much.
No, they'll take Milrow or something. They won't trade up for Sanders.
They're gonna trade up for Shador.
Nah, that would be legendary, and that would be franchise altering.
Hey,
for sure.
and you know who's coming next?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
You know who's coming next, bro?
Back to Louis luggage.
Back
to Louis luggage. You know what I mean?
Back to that Louis luggage is going to Cleveland.
No, but like honestly, like them going to the Browns is basically the equivalent of turning Colorado into a decent football team.
Right.
Yo,
that's basically like the same thing.
Cleveland gonna be back.
Cleveland gonna be the doghouse for real. That's
every time
games.
Every time a college coach tries to get their players in the NFL, they be terrible. So good luck.
Yeah, that's true.
It's only happened once.
I'm here for it though.
We going off Steve Spurrier. That's what we doing. It's only happened once, but I don't want to hear that bullshit. Hey, dog, Deion do it with his son and his de facto son, Myles Garrett, going crazy on defense. Man, that's a match made in heaven right there, bro. When it happens, just we'll laugh.
Bruh, that shit would be crazy. That shit is that is some type of shit that turn the franchise around.
That would be.
And I'll say that
man.
about Shador. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's the thing that people are sleeping on about Shador is the fact that he's a program changing player.
When I told y'all Shador wasn't that nice, I was a hater. Now it's looking like my man is sliding off the board. All right.
Hey, I'm in disagreement.
I think that's going to benefit him in the long run.
Shador is still the best quarterback on this board. Cam Ward being the undisputed number 1 pick is a mistake that the Titans will regret.
So you telling me that that Alex Smith better than Aaron Rodgers, T? Because I believe Alex Smith went number 1 and Aaron Rodgers fell all the way to 24th.
Alex Smith got drafted into some BS, but Aaron Rodgers is more talented than Alex.
He got drafted to the 49ers, right? I'm sure you wish you had Aaron Rodgers instead of Alex Smith. You would have been having a Super Bowl. We wouldn't have pictures of you.
Nobody would have survived what the 49ers had. Mike Singletary and all. Nobody would have survived.
Yeah, that Mike Singletary era was crazy in San Fran.
Wait, I can't wait for the draft now, fellas.
Jackson Dart, best quarterback.
Hey, the odds on Shador to the Browns is probably super duper low, Bryce. We might be able to rock the boat on that one.
Somebody's going to come back up and get him in the first round, though. That's
rob the books. Hey, if he go to Pittsburgh, bro, watch out.
Somebody's definitely coming to get Shador in that first round. But we'll be back next Tuesday with more analysis of the draft, full recap. The whole thing will be over by then, and we'll see we'll come out here with our draft grades as we always do. Anything anybody else want to get off before we get out of here? All right, man. Y'all know how we end every show. Sports for the culture.